Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Thursday, March 12th. Commute to work. Time 6:25 in the morning. Temperature 71 degrees. Here we go. Hope everyone had an awesome Wednesday night. One day closer to the weekend. We're already in pre-Friday mode. Our commute should be anywhere between 15 to 20 minutes. Sometimes shorter, depends on the traffic lights. A couple of things I want to discuss with you guys today. Moved into my new residence and been living in my new residence for a little bit over a year. Come to find out, after a year at residence, and I don't know how you guys feel about this here, but I'm a little upset with my utility company right now. The reason I say that, and I would give them a shout out, is Florida Power and Light. I'm a little upset with them this morning. The reason why I've been living in my residence, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that has probably experienced this here, but it was a little shocker. Moved into a brand new development and I have a cross meter. What I mean by a cross meter, I've been paying for my next door neighbor utility bill for over a year now. I haven't had a chance to approach my neighbor as of yet, but I will this evening when I arrive back home. Take a look around at our normal tradition to see what type of license plates we have. We have all the Floridian license plates. Here we go. Whoop, there's one of those morning drivers decided to almost took me out, but that's why you got to have both hands on the wheel and you got to have your head on the swivel. But here we go anyway. You ought to watch those type of people that be trying to cause an accident to take advantage of your insurance. But anyway, back to my story. How do you feel about that? If you've been living in a residence, how many people check the meter to make sure that you assume things, and maybe that's the problem that we run into, that we assume everything is correct. Now I'm a little concerned about all my utilities. For my water, I already, they corrected last night in regards to the problem that we have. What happened is the cause of this whole situation, my neighbor contacted me yesterday while I was at work, asked me, was my power out? I told him, no, my power is on. I seen him a screenshot of my camera. I have a Ring camera. I sent him a couple of shots of that, and he's saying, well, my power's out. So his wife was home, and I walked them through the process and go outside, check the breakers in the garage, make sure everything, nothing has tripped. So they did all that. Come to find out, the meters was crossed and they turned off the wrong household for non-payment. Imagine coming home after a hard day at work and your power is off. Luckily his wife was home, so we was communicating back and forth, texting back and forth in regards to the situation. And then when my wife arrived home, she was doing her normal chores, and then our power went out. So she called me in a panic mode, saying the power is out. We're in our speed zone right now. So Even though I'm talking to you guys, we're in our speed trap zone into the next traffic light. Let's see what we have this morning. So anyway, back to the story. My wife called me in a panic mode because she's saying the power's off, and we have a credit on our account. And she went outside and talked to the next door neighbor about the situation, and she said that her power's been off. My neighbor didn't start texting me until about 11 o'clock. He said their power went off at 8 o'clock just yesterday morning, which is a little bit alarming to me. So the utility company, Florida Power and Light, did not come out until about 3:30ish. Remind you, yesterday was one of the hotter days of 2026, and they have a newborn baby. We're green across the board and force the first speed trap. So, how do you feel about that? Drop down in the comments. How do you feel about the situation with the cross meters? Is it fair to the consumer that you assume everything is correct? That I'm gonna get rebilled because that was not my actual use? Or how does that work? Drop down in the comments. We're a Marathon Light. Let's see what we have this morning. So it was very concerning with me in regards to this whole situation with the cross meters. How many of my other neighbors in my community may have the wrong meter? That's very concerning to me. If 4 meters, or it was a total of 4 meters that the utility company changed last night. So how many other meters in that community is crossed? Once again, what I'm speaking of in regards to cross meters is I've been paying my neighbor what they've been using. They've been paying what I've been using, and vice versa with my other 4 neighbors. I can see if it was 2 households, but we're looking at 4 households that's next door to each other. So I'm just concerned. I'm going to speak with one of my other neighbors this afternoon when I arrive home. We're eating in our second speed trap. Let's see what we have here. So this gets concerning to me that in 2026 that we're still having these kind of issues that, should not be happening. You're moving to a brand new home, you expect everything to be working correctly. The last thing I want to do is pay somebody else's utilities. So drop down in the comments. How do you feel about this situation? I would love to hear your feedback. All right, back to our morning drive now. I ran and rave in regards to the situation I had last night, but it's just very, a little upsetting to go through something like that. But here we go. Smooth sailing this morning. .35 in the morning, 70 degrees, 70 at 6:35 in the morning. March 11th, South Florida weather. Expect to get it up into the upper 80s again today. I know you probably can't see it, but on the right, we're passing the Westchester, the beginning of the Westchester Golf Course. So, see, maintenance is out there already. Landscaping is already out there this morning. Getting the course prepared for today. Take a look around. We have all Florida license plates. Here we go. There's the clubhouse there on the left. I know you probably can't see it. And the driving range. And over to the right, I know it's in the dark, but the other part of the south end of the golf course for Westchester. Very smooth sailing this morning. Both hands on the wheel. All equipment is locked down. I'll be quiet for a few minutes where you can sit back and enjoy this beautiful drive. Moving right along. Nice smooth drive this morning. It's going to be a lovely day. Don't forget to also drop down in the comments where you're watching from, what state, what city, and what's your current temperature, or what country you're watching from. I would appreciate a like, subscribe, share, and comment. As I say in all my videos, if you have watched it to this particular point here, I personally want to take the time out to thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to watch this video. Let's be productive today. Let's work as a team. Let's reach all the goals that we have set forth for us today. Let's definitely be positive, and let's work as a unit. As this video comes to a close, everyone have an awesome Thursday, and I will see you tomorrow morning. Everyone, have a great day. Thank you for watching.